Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive edition of Entertainment Buzz, where we dive deep into the scandals that shake the world of showbiz. Today, we're unpacking one of the most jaw-dropping moments in daytime television history, the infamous clash between country music royalty Faith Hill and the powerhouse host Kelly Clarkson on The Kelly Clarkson Show. What started as a seemingly lighthearted interview promoting Faith's latest solo project, a heartfelt album reflecting on her decades in the spotlight, quickly spiraled into a firestorm of emotions, accusations, and ultimatums that left the studio audience gasping and viewers at home glued to their screens. Picture this: it's a crisp autumn morning in Los Angeles, the set adorned with cozy fall decor, soft lighting casting a warm glow on the plush guest couch, and Kelly, ever the gracious host with her signature megawatt smile, welcoming Faith with open arms and a hug that screamed old friends reuniting. Faith, looking every bit the timeless beauty in a tailored denim jacket over a flowing white blouse, her blonde waves cascading perfectly, settles in with a steaming mug of tea, ready to chat about everything from her marriage to Tim McGraw to the evolution of country music. The audience, a mix of die-hard fans from both artists, applauds enthusiastically, sensing the electric chemistry that's always simmered between these two vocal dynamos. Kelly kicks things off with a playful nod to Faith's enduring sex appeal, joking about how she still turns heads at 57, and Faith laughs it off with that signature Southern charm, her Mississippi roots shining through in her warm drawl. But beneath the surface pleasantries, there's a subtle tension brewing, perhaps from the grueling promo tours both women have endured, or maybe from unspoken rivalries in an industry that's as cutthroat as it is glamorous. As the conversation flows, Kelly steers it toward Faith's new single, a raw ballad about resilience in the face of industry betrayals, and that's when the first crack appears. A fleeting shadow crosses Faith's face, her fingers tightening around her mug just a tad too firmly. Little did anyone know, this innocuous pivot would ignite a powder keg of pent-up frustrations, turning a feel-good segment into a viral sensation that would dominate headlines for weeks. Social media erupted almost instantly, with hashtags like #FaithVs.Kelly and #ClarksonShow drama trending worldwide, as clips from the episode spread like wildfire across TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Fans dissected every micro-expression, every pause, fueling endless speculation about what really went down behind those bright studio lights. And as we peel back the layers of this drama, we'll explore not just the what, but the why, delving into the personal histories, professional pressures, and raw human emotions that collided in that fateful hour. Faith Hill, the girl from the small town of Jackson who clawed her way to superstardom with hits like This Kiss and Breathe, has always been seen as the epitome of grace under fire, but even icons have their breaking points. Kelly Clarkson, the original American Idol who transformed from reality TV darling to Grammy-winning diva, has built her empire on authenticity and vulnerability, yet she's no stranger to backstage battles. Their paths have crossed multiple times over the years at award shows, charity events, even a memorable girls' night out with Shania Twain back in 2022. But nothing could have prepared them for this. As the camera rolls, capturing every heartbeat, the interview unfolds like a scripted thriller, with rising stakes and unforeseen twists. We'll recount the build-up blow by blow, from the warm welcomes to the whispers of discontent, setting the stage for the eruption that no one saw coming. And through it all, remember, in the glittering world of entertainment, where spotlights burn bright and shadows hide deeper truths, even the strongest bonds can fray under the weight of unfiltered truth. So, buckle up, dear viewers, as we rewind to that pivotal day, October 8, 2025, when two queens of country collided in a way that redefined daytime TV drama forever. The air was thick with anticipation, the crew buzzing with the energy of a high-profile guest, and Kelly's band, ready to jump in for a duet that promised to be magical. But magic, as we all know, sometimes comes with a dark side. The interview launches with the kind of effervescent energy that The Kelly Clarkson Show is famous for. Kelly's infectious laugh echoing through the studio as she recounts a hilarious anecdote from their shared CMA Awards after party years ago, where Faith had to bail her out of a wardrobe malfunction involving a too-tight sequin gown and a spilled glass of champagne. The audience roars, Faith joining in with a genuine chuckle that crinkles the corners of her eyes, her diamond earrings catching the light like tiny fireworks. Kelly, perched on her stool in a vibrant emerald green dress that hugs her curves just right, leans forward conspiratorially, her Texas twang blending seamlessly with Faith's drawl as they bond over the absurdities of tour life via the endless hotel room service mishaps, the fans who mistake them for each other in airports, the sheer exhaustion of maintaining that polished facade night after night. It's all so relatable, so real, that even the most cynical viewer can't help but smile, feeling like they're eavesdropping on a private chat between gal pals. Faith opens up about her latest album, Echoes of the Heart, a collection of soul-stirring tracks co-written during lockdown, inspired by the quiet moments with her daughters and the unwavering support of Tim, who's been her rock through 3 decades of highs and lows. Kelly nods empathetically, sharing her own tales of balancing motherhood with the relentless demands of the spotlight, her voice softening as she mentions her kid's latest school drama, drawing parallels that make Faith nod vigorously, her hand gesturing animatedly to emphasize the universal struggles of famous moms. The chemistry is palpable, the kind that makes producers dream of spin-off specials, and for a solid 10 minutes, it's pure gold. A clip's already earmarked for social media teasers that would rack up millions of views. But then, as Kelly transitions to a segment on the state of country music today, praising the influx of fresh voices like Lainey Wilson and Megan Moroney for injecting new life into the genre, something shifts. Faith's smile falters ever so slightly, her posture straightening as if an invisible string pulled her upright. Kelly, oblivious at first, gushes about how these young guns are revolutionizing the sound, making it more inclusive, more pop-infused, and how veterans like Faith paved the way but must evolve or risk fading. It's meant as a compliment, a bridge between generations, but to Faith, who's poured her blood, sweat, and tears into preserving country's authentic twang against the tide of crossover hits, it lands like a subtle dig, a reminder that at 57, she's yesterday's news in an industry obsessed with youth and virality. The audience senses the pivot, a hush falling over the crowd as Faith's response comes, measured but laced with steel. Evolve? Honey, I've been evolving since before these girls were in diapers, but there's something sacred about roots that shouldn't be glossed over for TikTok likes. Kelly blinks, her enthusiasm dimming a notch, but she presses on, laughing it off with, "Oh, absolutely, but change keeps us relevant, right? Like how I went from idol pop to country covers. It's all about adapting." The exchange teeters on the edge of banter, but Faith's eyes narrow, her fingers drumming lightly on her knee, a telltale sign for those who know her well that the gracious facade is cracking. With the spotlight hot and the cameras unflinching, the duet begins innocently in awe of Faith and Kelly harmonizing on the chorus of Let's Make Love, their voices intertwining like old lovers reuniting, Faith's rich alto grounding Kelly's soaring soprano in a blend that's nothing short of magical. The audience sways, phones held high to capture the moment, cheers erupting as they nail the high note, sweat beading on their brows from the emotional delivery. It's a brief respite, a reminder of why these two are legends, their shared passion for melody bridging any gap. But as the final notes fade and they settle back for post-performance chit-chat, Kelly, ever the provocateur in her quest for real talk, dives deeper into the evolution debate. "Faith, you've always been so bold. I remember when you crossed over to pop with There You'll Be. That was revolutionary. But don't you think today's artists are taking it further, blending genres without apology? It's like country's finally catching up to the world." Her tone is admiring, but to Faith, it's the straw that breaks the camel's back, a patronizing pat on the head from someone who's benefited from the very doors she kicked open. Faith sets her mug down with a deliberate clink, her blue eyes flashing under the studio lights as she leans in, voice steady but edged with fire. "Catching up, Kelly, darlin', we weren't lagging, we were holding the line against a machine that chews up traditions and spits out algorithms. You think American Woman was easy? I fought tooth and nail for that airplay while execs told me to tone it down for the charts. And now you sit there, after your idol glow up, telling me to adapt like I'm some relic." The words hang heavy, the audience frozen in a collective intake of breath, the only sound the faint hum of the overhead mix. Kelly's face flushes, her easy smile vanishing as she stammers, Whoa, Faith, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, we're both survivors here, right? I've been typecast too, from pop princess to country mom. It's just progress. But Faith isn't having it. The dam bursts, years of bottled grievances flooding out in a torrent. She recounts the snubs of the Grammy nods that went to flashier newcomers, the radio playlists that sidelined her post-maternity leave, the way her vulnerability was weaponized in headlines questioning her commitment after prioritizing family. You waltz in with your covers and your Kelly Oak, repackaging our hits for your crowd, and call it homage? It's erasure, plain and simple. I've bled for this genre while you played safe on network TV. Kelly fires back, her voice rising in defense, eyes wide with hurt. Erasure? I've shouted your name from rooftops. A covered breathe like a prayer. But yeah, maybe I have it easier now, post-divorce glow up, but don't act like I haven't scrapped for every inch. You're the queen, Faith. Why bite the hand that fans you? The back and forth escalates, words flying like sparks from flint. To Faith accusing Kelly of performative feminism, Kelly retorting with charges of gatekeeping, the audience murmuring in shock as producers signal frantically from the sidelines. It's unscripted, unfiltered, a cathartic clash that exposes the underbelly of stardom, the envy masked as encouragement, the admiration tainted by competition. The tipping point arrives like a thunderclap in the clear sky of Faith, her chest heaving from the verbal sparring, abruptly halts mid-sentence, her gaze locking on to Kelly's with an intensity that silences the room. You know what, Kelly? I'm done playing nice for the cameras. This isn't progress, it's piracy of our souls, and if you can't see that, maybe I don't belong here. With that, she unclips her mic pack, the Velcro rip echoing like a gunshot, and tosses it onto the couch, the audience erupting in a cacophony of gasps and scattered applause, unsure whether to cheer the drama or mourn the meltdown. Kelly, stunned into momentary speechlessness, reaches out a hand, her voice a plea wrapped in disbelief. Faith, let's talk this out, off air if you want. We're better than this. But Faith, fueled by a righteous fury honed from countless boardroom battles and media minefields, shakes her head, blonde locks whipping as she turns toward the exit. Better? We've been selling better for years, sugarcoating the sexism, the ageism, the way they pit us against our sisters for scraps. Not today. She strides down the steps, past the frozen house band, her heels clicking authoritatively on the polished floor, ignoring the producer's desperate cut to commercial. Booming in her ear, PEC. Wait, no, she's already ditched it. The studio doors swing open with dramatic flair, Faith vanishing into the hallway amid a swarm of crew members scrambling to follow, their walkie-talkies crackling with urgent directives. Back on stage, Kelly slumps slightly, her face a mask of regret and resolve, as she ad-libs to the crowd. Well, folks, that was real. Sometimes truth hurts, but it's family that heals. The applause is polite but thunderous, a mix of shock and solidarity, while monitors flicker with incoming tweets. Faith just queened out. #Team Hill vs Kelly didn't deserve that shade. #Kelly forever. In the control booth, executives pace like caged lions, debating whether to air the unedited fallout or salvage with B-roll, but the deed is Donia Live TV's beauty and curse, irreversible and intoxicating. Faith, meanwhile, bursts into her dressing room, slamming the door with a force that rattles the vanity mirrors, collapsing into a chair as tears finally spill, her team hovering like nervous hens, offering water, tissues, whispered affirmations. You showed them, Faith. You stood up for all of us, her publicist murmurs, already drafting a statement, but inside, the icon wrestles with a whirlwind of doubt. Was it empowerment or self-sabotage? The walk-off, captured in grainy cell phone videos smuggled out by audience members, goes mega-viral within minutes, racking up 10 million views before the credits roll, spawning memes of Faith's mic toss edited to epic soundtracks. Think Eye of the Tiger meets country twang. Pundits on TMZ and E! Dissected frame by frame, with insiders leaking tidbits. Faith's pre-show jitters over a fresh Variety article dubbing Kelly the new face of country. Kelly's offhand remark in rehearsal about veterans needing to pass the torch gracefully. Yet, amid the frenzy, Glimmers of empathy emerge via fans flooding Faith's Instagram with heart emojis and stories of their own stand-up moments. Kelly's loyalists praising her grace under fire. This isn't just a spat, it's a mirror to the music biz's soul, reflecting how women, no matter their stature, navigate a labyrinth of expectations laced with thorns. As Faith catches her breath, staring at her reflection as smudged mascara, defiant eyes as she dials Tim, his gravelly voice a lifeline. "Babe, you did what felt right. Come home, we'll face the storm together." Meanwhile, Kelly, post-commercial break, segues into a solo karaoke of Cry Me a River, her rendition laced with subtext, the audience hanging on every note, sensing the catharsis.